Have you ever wondered why the book of Leviticus exists? Or why it's so full of laws, sacrifices, and rituals that seem far removed from our modern world? Well, let's unpack it together. Leviticus was written around 1440 to 1400 BC, right after God brought the Israelites out of Egypt. For over 400 years, they'd been surrounded by Egyptian culture, polytheistic, idol-worshipping, and deeply pagan. After so long, their understanding of the one true God had become distorted. So Leviticus came as a divine reset, a guide for how God's redeemed people were to live in relationship with a holy God. This book is really about holiness. Over and over, God says, "Be holy, because I am holy." It teaches that holiness isn't just about rituals, it's about the heart, about living set apart from the corruption of the world. Leviticus begins with a focus on sacrifice. In chapter 1, verse 4 it says, "He is to lay his hand on the head of the burnt offering, and it will be accepted on his behalf to make atonement for him." Every sacrifice was a vivid reminder that sin brings death, but that God, in his mercy, allows a substitute. Later, in Leviticus 17 verse 11, God explains why. "The life of a creature is in the blood, it is the blood that makes atonement for one's life." Those sacrifices were never random. They were foreshadowing something far greater, the ultimate sacrifice of Jesus Christ. Throughout the book, you'll see God's concern for every part of life: diet, childbirth, disease, worship, relationships, even festivals. Every law reminded Israel that holiness touched everything. Chapter 19 verse 18 even gives us one of the most famous commands in Scripture. "Love your neighbor as yourself." Jesus would later echo those exact words. Leviticus also describes the Day of Atonement in chapter 16, a sacred day when one sacrifice was made for the sins of the entire nation. It pointed forward to the day when Jesus, the true high priest, would offer himself as the final, perfect sacrifice. The writer of Hebrews calls this a shadow of the good things to come. What Leviticus could only picture, Christ fulfilled once and for all. But beyond ancient rituals, Leviticus still speaks today. It reminds us that God takes his holiness seriously, and so should we. In a world where many tried to shape God into whatever they want him to be, Leviticus draws us back to reality. God is holy, unchanging, and utterly pure. He cannot overlook sin, but through Jesus, he has made a way for us to stand before him blameless. Leviticus may be an old book, but its message is timeless. God is holy, sin is serious, and atonement is necessary. The good news is, because of Christ's sacrifice, we can live forgiven, set apart, and in fellowship with the same holy God who called Israel all those centuries ago.